So I'll say this, thank you everyone for sharing how your week has gone. You know, some of you are shy, so it's okay, I'm not gonna call on every single person, but what I'll say is this, with trading, you will lose. It happens, you will lose. However, the goal is to win more than you lose. It's a ratio game, you know, you wanna win more than you lose. That's why when it comes to risk management, we look to risk 1 to 3. Jenna, you still using, right? Do as I say, not as I do, please. No, but we all agree. So I'm gonna walk through the challenge, and I'm gonna explain in a bit more detail what is expected. Okay. Now, the goal of this challenge was to make £100 and compound it to 10,000 in 10 weeks. That everyone is in agreement with. Okay. How you achieve that, right? We said that the first few weeks, you know, we're gonna be heavily reliant on signals from iGo Trade and the Kairos Signal Group, but it didn't mean that that was the only thing you could do. The reason why we stipulated that is because many people in this group, we've got all various styles of trading, all various levels of education when it comes to trading. Some of us have been trading for a bit longer, some of us are brand new. So we set that foundation. However, if you are confident, if you know what you're doing, by all means, fly, go. Like, the goal is to showcase that you can compound a trading account from 100 to 10,000. Okay. If you can do that on your own basis, and remember, right, whilst we're on this financial goal, right, every week we're setting homework or setting tasks for you to read and to watch videos so that you can upskill yourself, so that you can be independent when it comes to marking out or learning a strategy of your own. Okay, so if I go through the challenge again, you know, on week 1, the goal was to make £67 profit. Okay, and you withdraw £6. Now, if you didn't make 67, you made 60, fine, you don't withdraw that week. If you made less, it's up to you whether you want to just carry on from that point and try and hit week 2's target, or whether you want to top up. That's up to you. For example, full transparency, last week I made 130. I mean, sorry, I made I ended the week on 130. That was £30 less. But today I was able to build on that, and I wasn't worried because I knew that it doesn't matter. I know I can make that up next week. Okay, so today I was able to do exactly that. Now, if you're not confident that you're going to be able to build to the next week target, it's really down to you whether you choose to top up or not. Now, topping up, I think, if I'm honest, is a very short-term gain. You know, the goal is to challenge yourself to see, can you actually compound? You know, not everyone is going to be able to achieve this goal, but if you apply yourself, if you apply risk management, if you learn the skill, taking signals from me or Kairo or Akin or anyone else who's sending signals, you run the risk of purely going in blind on a trade, and you're solely just dependent on myself or whoever. And, you know, therefore, if it loses, you can't blame yourself. You're blaming me or Akin or Kairo, whoever sent the signal, subconsciously. And actually, you know, if you think about it, if you really deep it, you're trying to make money with your eyes closed, and that's not what the goal is. The goal is for you to be able to learn the skill and be able to become independent traders and truly receive financial freedom. This challenge was to showcase to you that you can apply yourself, learn the skill, and do that. Okay, so in terms of signals, and in terms of signals, yes, there, you know, if I'm honest, personally, I don't typically like to overtrade. So typically I like to do 1 or 2 trades, and that's about it for the day, even for the week, to be honest. Like, you know, yesterday I could have stayed in a trade to buy, and I could have just taken my cash, and I could have hit TP and be done. But I left like a little bit just so that I'll do a trade today, which I did, and I kept it moving. Now, how can we do a bit more clarity? So what I've been trying to do in the group chat, if you've noticed, is that I want to encourage you guys to actually look at the charts yourselves and decide whether it's a good trade or not. So yes, I may send signals from time to time, but I want to encourage you to also look and see, can you identify? I don't want to just completely spoon feed you all the time. I want you guys to actually try and learn that, you know. So I think was it Connie? Someone sent their trade ideas, the USD Mexican, I think it was, and it was a good trade, you know. So you guys can do this stuff. You guys can you know, mark up charts through learning about it and applying it and demoing it, and you know, sharing your trade ideas. And I want to encourage that more in the group chats, you know, because I don't want us to become dependent on signals. All right. When week 2, I said by week 4, we're gonna completely stop sending signals, and everyone's gonna be trading independently. So I'm trying to slowly introduce the idea of people sharing trade ideas in the group. There's a purpose as to why I'm doing it. The more you see it, the more it becomes familiar. Okay. So I share ideas so that people can look at it and think. Like, for example, I shared the zigzag down. You know, if I'm honest, when I looked at it this morning, I was up at like 2 a.m. Saw it, it flew 100 pips. Cool, I caught that 100 pip up. Then it looked like it wanted to complete a W on the 4-hour chart. In fact, instead of just me talking through it, let me go through it on a chart. Give me 1 sec. Let me just get attempt to anyways get up the trading view. So okay. Okay. So all right, so this morning, you have this. Okay, so this morning, we saw this pattern here this morning, right? And it looked as though it was going to form a W, right? Now, so it looked as though it was going to form a W right here. Okay, so at this point, right, where it's a double bottom, went in for a buy. It reached the middle of the W, okay? That was over 100 pips. Cool. Now, straight after that, it started going up and down. This buy wick here was going up and down. And so I sent in the group, where's the group? Sent in the group. Right. Right. So it looked like it was consolidating on the 4-hour chart. And remember what zigzag down is. It's gonna be a downward step, which we had here. It consolidated. So in that consolidation, you could have caught like 100 pips up, 100 pips down in terms of the buy of the W. And then when it got to near the top of that consolidation, gone in for a sell, and then watched it drop. Now, if we go into the charts, that's exactly what we saw happen here. So you've got this line. If we got in around here, you would have caught this. Let's see. I can use this. It's around almost 200 pips that is dropped on that one leg. Okay. So what this shows me is this, right? The strategy works. Okay. Now DAX, to be clear, the strategy for DAX is the strategy for DAX. I know many people have asked, can we use it with other indices? Can we use it with other? I'm sure you can, but that's for you to master. That's for you to look at it and see, can you apply it? Does it work? So the question I'm getting in the group chat is, so on the 4th, you saw W, and on the lower time frame, you saw zigzag down. Which time frame will you even follow? Okay, let me try and make this clearer. So this morning, okay. Okay, right. All right. So let me just do this. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna just hide. Oh. So I'm gonna hide this, right? So at what time was this? 2 a.m. this morning. Saw that this had created a double bottom. What's a double bottom? That's a W, right? So discard everything that you can see in the box. I'm just looking at everything before the box. So at this point on the 4-hour chart, I thought, okay, fantastic. Looks like a W. So I kind of got in the middle, but it was late, so I wasn't watching it. I was willing to take that risk. If it flew, it flew. If it didn't, I gave myself quite a tight stop loss. Now, if I go into the 15-minute chart, what it looked like, it looked like it had consolidated here, and it was looking to begin its climb up. So for me, and you can't really see here, but let me try and move this. It also did a dip and then kept on climbing. So for me, that looks like, okay, this must be some sort of zigzag up, which correlated with the 4-hour W. Okay. So with these charts or with these patterns, when you have patterns that correlate with each other, fantastic, wonderful. Okay, like with DAX, yes, it's going to be affected by news, but because we're scalping, right, we're looking for patterns. Okay, now if there is like dedicated news coming out, like for example today at 1:30 the CPI of USD CPI came out, consumer price index came out, and that was negative, so therefore it caused at 1:30 you saw a massive drop, because you know DAX is impacted by US news. Now in the morning there was a lot of conflicting news. You know, it was creating what they call a, I can't remember, but you know those swords that have two handles on either side and it just goes up and down. Basically, people were conflicted. They didn't know whether they were having good news or whether it was bad news. And the reason why is because, you know, there was some news around coronavirus cases have increased. Then there was news around how people there's you know, interest in the fact that some countries are going to be reducing lockdown. Then there was news about Trump said something, and then there was some news that was good and some news that had negative sentiment. And because of that, markets were up and down, and hence why we saw 100 pip move up, and now we've got the drop happening. So what I look for in DAX, I just look for patterns, you know, but it's hard to send signals on patterns because I'm scalping, and so that's why I make it a mission to teach you the strategy, so that you guys can make informed decisions, so that you guys can learn the skill. So to answer your question, Joey, you know, when I first saw it, cool. I saw it at the bottom when it was right here at the bottom, expecting it to go up. Fantastic. It went up 100 pips, closed out. At this point, it started doing up, down, and this 4 hour candle, this 4 hour candle, this little one, this buy one here, you can see it hit an up and then it went down and then it closed in the middle. Closed in the middle showcases that there was most likely consolidation there. So at that point, wasn't entirely sure, but for me it looked like, okay, this consolidating at this point, and we've had this drop here that caused the first half of the W. This is potentially looking like a zigzag down. That's why I sent in the group chat that this could potentially be a zigzag down. Now, with potentials, I'm a risk taker, so I would take that risk. But I can't ask you all to follow me in taking the risk. That's why I share the trade idea with you, and you guys can make an informed decision whether you want to go into the trade or not, because it's risky. Usually with zigzags, I like to go in on the second leg, because that way I know it's already started one leg. It's going to by all means start the second leg. But I went in, and yeah, it paid off. You know, this is almost a 200 pip drop. Yeah, and we shall see how tomorrow pans out. Now, what I think it's going to do is probably drop all the way down to this. Yeah. So what I think it may do is probably drop all the way down to this, a step all the way down to this point. Okay, that's what I think it may do before it then reverses and climbs up. So I think it's gonna, let me see if I can draw it for you. No, there is useful trends, support and resistance zones. We just let me, okay. Sorry about the pop-ups. There is useful trends and support and resistance zones. Right here, this line here, this is support. As you can see, we've got more than two. 1, 2, okay, this one didn't really touch, but yeah, this is our support. Move it up for you. This is our support. So I think it's going to drop down to the support of this big step. So can you see the step? So we had one step here, and then this is our big old step here. So I have a feeling that it might drop down to the bottom of the step before doing its climb back up, potentially. And if it climbs, it may well climb up to this area here. So what DAX likes to do is to repeat itself. What DAX likes to do is to repeat itself. So yeah, what DAX likes to do is to repeat itself. So what we can see here, what we can see here is that on the left-hand side, you know, it's consolidating at the same area that it did before, right? So, right, same area. Obviously, this consolidation is a bit bigger, but you can see it's consolidating at the same area that it did before. So if it does decide to climb back up, where do you think the next area it may reach will be? So around here. Yeah, potentially. It might reach like the bottom of this, which is 11,600, 12,000, exactly. Potentially. Now, that's all considering whether, you know, we have this pandemic keeps on going until the end of the year, or it's all considering of what's happening news. But ultimately, this can drop down and then potentially carry on the zigzag up. Or it can drop and keep dropping and create a head and shoulders down. We just got to see what the market needs to give us. But it's interesting that it is consolidating in the same area as it did previously. Why? Because that likes to repeat itself. Like that. Yeah, that likes to that likes to repeat itself. So in all of this, I'm saying okay. All right. So I hate trading views, sorry guys. So in all of this, right, I'm expecting price to potentially come all the way back down to this support zone here on this step. On that. Now, of course, it all depends on news, how the market is going to act, what's going to happen, whether Trump opens his mouth. It all depends on that. But for now, potentially it could reach this point, and if it does, you know, we're looking at a potential 800 pip move. 800 pip move. If it does make it down to this support zone. So I'm going to be watching this for the rest of the week. But I just wanted to walk through I guess the main thing I wanted to walk through in terms of the main thing I wanted to walk through in terms of the DAX training is so the DAX training is that it's a scalping strategy. I want you guys to learn the skill yourself. I want you guys to be sharing your trade ideas in the group chat. It doesn't just have to be DAX. You know, in this journey, you're learning skills like that can help you identify trade ideas across currency pairs that you want to learn. So please use this opportunity to do so. With the game pattern, for today, I'm going to set you homework. And going forward, I know we didn't have our Sunday session, and that was on me, apologies. But going forward, we're going to have the task outlined to you on a Sunday for you to give your notes and hand it in by the following Sunday, okay? So the tasks going forward will be given to you on a Sunday for you to give to us at the following Sunday, okay? Tasks on a Sunday for you to give to us on following Sunday, right? We'll try and keep it to a minimal, like because I've given this just tonight and not on Sunday, I'm only gonna give you 2 things to do. Some of you have already done the iGo Trade Plus, the iGo Trade learning from Christoph. I think that's gonna be really useful. If you have not done it, please do it. Make your notes, send your notes across. In this training, he goes through how he trades the iGo trade signals, so you can truly maximize your outputs with that. So please watch it. I'm also going to be sending you additional videos of his to watch, not for this week, but if you want to, by all means, go ahead. But I will be just for a heads up, I will be sending them as part of the following weeks in terms of training, because I do think his zone to zone training is really good. So I want you guys to also use that. The YouTube video that I've attached on here talks about 20 habits of highly successful traders. When you watch it, you will understand some things, and it will make you look at trading in a different way. So I want you guys to watch it, make notes, send me your notes. So the goal is to have these 2 tasks done by Sunday before our trader session at 10. So please make sure you have this to me. I will send it in the group chat. So please make sure you have it to me by Sunday. And going forward, tasks will be handed out on a Sunday for the following Sunday. If that all makes sense to you, can I please get some number 1s in the group chat? Lovely, lovely, lovely. So tasks on a Sunday to be returned for the following Sunday. So you get a week to do the tasks. Okay, trading wise, in terms of the challenge, the goal is to become independent traders. So I want to encourage everyone to start sharing your trade ideas. You're not going to learn unless you do it. So you need to be sharing your trade ideas in the group chat, and let us, even if you need to demo it for a first week or so, but let us learn from each other, right? We'll be sending out signals as per usual. And then in terms of hitting your weekly targets, now, you know, you can do this using iGo Trade or the Pirate Signals group, or your own analysis if you're comfortable with your analysis. It's all game. It's all game. The goal is to compound. Not the goal is to use iGo Trade. The goal is to compound and learn the skill. So it's really down to you to really take control and ownership of your trading accounts. Okay. But I wanted to do this call to say, guys, it's okay if you didn't make week 1. You still have the rest of this week to make it up. It is possible. I did it. I was £30 off of last week's challenge, but I was able to do it up this week, today. So it's possible. You know, it's just about being disciplined with your trading, your risk management, and what you're willing to risk. Now, if you're willing to risk up to 2% of your account, by all means, go in with 0.02 lot size. Okay. If you're not ready and confident with that, you know, then keep it at 1%. It's fine. But guys, I hope this session has been useful. I really wanted to do a checkpoint and see how people are feeling. I'm going to be sending everyone, I'm going to be sending in the group a monkey survey. And so you don't have to put your names in, but I just want to sense check who has met the weekly target, who hasn't. So I'm going to send it, right? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to send it and say who has met week 1, who's met week 2, who's met week 3, etc., etc. And you just fill in the one that you've met, all right? The week target that you've met, and let's see how we are getting on as a group. So next session is going to be on Sunday. Sunday we should be doing markups. I'll confirm with you. And then Tuesday we should probably do another session around mindset and going through the performances of the previous week. So if there's any objections, or if there isn't any objections, I think that's pretty much it that I wanted to discuss today. How's everyone feeling now? You know, we came into this call feeling a little wounded. I'll say some people felt a bit wounded, but I just want to encourage you guys that it's all a part of the game. Like, you know, you win some, you lose some. But when you win big. So what you lose shouldn't affect you. You know, trading, yes, it's emotional, but we need to have our emotions on check. And I know it's possible. I would not have set this challenge if I didn't think it was possible. Okay, cool. We had a bad day. Some of you had a bad week. Some of you had a great week. I know some people were able to hit their target nicely, you know. But it doesn't mean you should give up. You owe it to yourself to try and keep going, all right? That's when it's going to be even more sweeter, because you had to work for it. So I'm excited for the 10K that each and every one of you are getting. Law of attraction, you are going to make your 10K. I want you to believe that. I want you to speak it into existence. You are going to make your 10K. And I'm excited. And guess what? Somebody is going to get 50K. Wow. Somebody is going to get 50K. It is done. It is possible. It's already done. 10K all the way. 10K all the way. All right, guys. I'm going to give you back 4 minutes of your time. Thank you so much. And you guys, whoever plugged in to my first live Instagram live session today, and was on the 7 o'clock call, and was on this call, you guys are soldiers. Thank you so much for plugging in. Oh, nice. Thanks, Pradeep. So yeah, thank you so much for plugging in, and God bless you guys. Good night, guys. Wow, Faith, soldier. Take care, guys. Wow, Sharon, you too. Guys, shoulder. I can't even talk today, sorry. But yeah, take care. Good night. I'll send the links in the group.